Well, hello, everyone. Hello. We are back tonight and we are discussing a topic that I think everyone is ready to discuss. Some have taken the vaccine, some have not, some have questions, and hopefully tonight we can answer those questions for you. For those who do not know me, I am Kenny Ward and I will be your host tonight for this segment of Singles in Progress. I have with me tonight Miss Yolanda Posey, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. We go way back. How long? How long I've been knowing you, Yolanda?
So maybe 15, maybe 15, 16 years now.
It's been a
Yeah, it's
while,
been a while.
all the way back to Jefferson Davis
Jefferson
Community
Davis.
College.
So 2008,
Six,
yeah,
seven,
2008, 7, somewhere in there.
right. Wow, it has been a while.
hmm
So she has done great things. She was in nursing school when I met her
hmm
at Jefferson Davis. So now, as you see, she has become an RN, and we have her with us on tonight. She's the assistant healthcare director at Zion Hope Primitive Baptist Church. So, Yolanda, introduce yourself.
Well, hello, my name is Yolanda Posey. I am by day, I am a nurse. I also work oncology nursing here for a local office here in Pensacola. So I have been doing that for the past 8 years in oncology nursing. Prior to that, I was on the float team doing radiation and urology. Um, I currently am working on some things for healthcare administration, just trying to get more things out there for the community. Public health, that's something that's very dear to my heart. I have three beautiful children. They are 27, 23, and 20 years old. Um, and so that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. So, I'm ready to jump in here and I'm ready to get started. So, my first question, Yolanda, have
Yes.
you taken the vaccine?
Yes, so I took the vaccine back in January. The vaccine was approved late December. The doctor I worked for, he got the vaccine December 23rd. I got the vaccine January the 3rd, and I was fine. On the first, my arm hurt a little bit. I will not tell you that it did not hurt. It did hurt. But as far as the fatigue, to be expected. Took some Tylenol and ibuprofen. I was fine. My second shot, I got that on February the 4th. Now, that did do me in. It was a big doozy. So it did. But what you want is to have a reaction from that shot. That is letting us know that it is working. So what I did, I worked. I went home. So I got my shot that afternoon. I finished my shift. I went home. 6 hours later is when you had the side effects. So I knew that I needed to just be resting. I drink plenty of water prior to because I knew what happened the first shot. So they tell you need to be hydrated. You need to make sure you eat some good protein, and you'll have Tylenol and ibuprofen to help. You want to have nothing to take for the 6 hours after you get the shot because you want to have a reaction to it. After that, I slept it out, had a little night sweat. It was okay. Took my shower, got up, got hydrated, and I was fine. And here I am 6 months later, and I'm fine.
Okay. So, first question that I've heard a lot of people say, and I want you to help me out here. How can I take a vaccine that took them less than 2 months to come up with?
So technically, it did not take them 2 months to come with. There has been research going on for this prior to COVID-19 being exposed. And so there's a little myth that,
Hmm.
oh, it only took 2 months. No, they've always been working on this. So they tweaked it. And with vaccinations, they tweak it. There's always a live virus and then there's a placebo. They work together. They make sure the CDC has to go through much testing for that. So we know that there was a SARS outbreak some years ago.
Hmm.
They had to have some kind of way to work on that. So they've been working on this prior to. I have a cousin, his name is Dr. Jonathan Posey. He wanted us to know that we need to be vaccinated, not just because, oh, it took 2 months. There is a myth. It took longer than that. These companies have already been working. They had to work on the strand to make sure that when they got that vaccine ready, it was ready for mass. We have to try something. So you can't we're going to eat anywhere. We don't watch people cook our food. We don't watch people, do the things that they do for us behind the scenes.
That's
We
true.
get Publix pickup. We get Grubhub. We trust those people. we need to trust the vaccine because we don't want to be on ventilators come this fall when this kicks back up.
Wow. So, judging from what you said, you're estimating, forecasting that this fall we'll see an increase in numbers again.
It could be an increase in numbers again because there's something called a Delta variant. And if we're not vaccinated, if we all are not vaccinated, um, and they said at least 75% of us are vaccinated, then we stand the risk of having a worse outbreak around two, and we don't want that.
And I want to make this statement tonight. We're not here to tell you to get it or
Mm-hmm.
not to get it. We're just here to give you the information to help you make a sound decision
Mm-hmm.
whether you want to move forward in getting the vaccine or not. But listening to what you just said, I was listening to a preacher a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things that they were saying that God was dealing with them about a potential second round
Mm-hmm.
coming. And
Mm-hmm.
so listening to what they were saying and listening to what you were saying just a minute ago, that could be what God was revealing to them,
Mm-hmm.
possibly. I'm just another round that could come about.
Because we want to be careful. Everybody wants to have fun, but we want to be careless, and we can't be careless right now. We think about HIV/AIDS testing, those things. When that came out, we did everything we could. People were protected. They paid attention. They went and got STD testing. They went and got HIV testing. They went and got those tests. So what we have to do now, we have to, not saying that this is going to be in the same um, umbrella as that, but we still need to know that, hey, we got to get checked, we got to get vaccinated, we have to use universal precautions. Us in a predominantly black society, we have more comorbidities. We have high blood pressure. We don't eat right already. We don't take care of our bodies already. So therefore, we're going to have more exposure. We still need to be hand washing. We still need to be wearing our mask. Even though you're vaccinated, you still need to wear your mask. I still wear my mask at work. Why? Because it's not 100%. But if you do get infected, then you stand less chance to be in the hospital with it.
You said something a minute ago, and I want to stop there. It's so much good discussion here because you said even though you've been vaccinated, you received your vaccine, you still need to wear your mask. I know there's
Mhm.
some people that think just because I've been vaccinated, there's no reason for me to wear the mask because I
Mhm.
can't pass anything, I can't catch anything because I've received the vaccine. Can you
Mhm.
talk about that a little bit?
All right. So it said it's not 100%. Even though you have the vaccination, it keeps you from having the symptoms. You can still get COVID-19 14 days after you receive that shot. So up to 14 days of your second dose, you can still get COVID-19. And even after the 14 days, you can still contract it. What we are telling you is that you may get it, but you will not have the symptoms of it. Therefore, if you come in contact with somebody who is not vaccinated or has an immunocompromised system and they cannot get vaccinated, you can then in turn give it to your loved one, give it to your children, your little person, and we don't want that to happen. Adults, we can tell you what's wrong with us. A little baby can't tell you what's wrong with them. An elderly person sometimes can't tell you the symptoms is wrong with them. And we may think, oh, they're elderly, they're just sleeping. They could be infected. And so we have got to be careful.
That is good. So we need to be careful.
Hmm.
Now, I know that they said that recently, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, that we switched from needing to be 6 feet apart to now 3 feet, maybe.
3 feet, 3 to 6 feet. Those are the variants. We still need to. Those are the what is my word I want to use? 3 to 6 feet is what they're recommending.
Okay.
Still want to wear your mask. Still want to wash your hands. If you're going to be within 3 to 6 feet of people who are already vaccinated and you're outside in open air, they said it's fine.
Okay.
No more than 12 people in that area, but they all have to be vaccinated. You still have to be careful. If you're going to be indoors, mask. If you're going to be out in the Walmart, mask. Why? We don't know those people. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what kind of things they're doing away from us. Have to be careful.
Hmm. Interesting. So I was listening to what you just said, and one of the things, one of the areas that I had that was bothering me is I stopped going to the gym.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts concerning gym? I know some people have started going back to the gym and they're just wearing their mask. Do you think that is a good idea right now, or
So I personally am going to the gym, but I am over, I'm the over crazy person as they call it. But I take my gloves and I wipe down my own equipment with my own Clorox wipes. I
okay,
got me a little fanny pack and I put my little wipes in my little fanny pack and I wipe my machines down. I throw it away, I work out, and I go on. Now, I don't do a lot of the dumbbells. I am only doing cardio, but I know I need it. So I'm doing my cardio and I'm doing the ropes and the pull downs for my
okay.
arm. Some more free things. None of the dumbbells. I'm not doing any of that.
So basically, just taking the precautions that's needed to
Hmm.
make sure that you're covering yourself, not expecting someone else to wipe it down.
Hmm.
You doing what's within your power to
Right.
make sure that you're protecting yourself.
Yes.
Now, here's another one, and I'm a little on the fence about this.
Okay.
Eating out in public, restaurants where you have to take your mask off because we know we can't eat with the mask on. So that's an area that I've been weighing in my head. Like I've been invited to a couple of places to go out and eat, and the first thing that comes to my mind, well, that means I'm gonna have to take my mask off, and I'm in this building. Everyone else, we may be 6 feet apart, but their mask is off as well, and so
Right. So your food is being carried through. So this is where you pray and trust God for the process. We pray over our food every day.
right,
Because watch this, we're still going out to the store. You're still going out handling things that people may have the COVID-19. You're going to touch it. Hand washing, your prayers, and you want to be mindful if the people who are inviting you out, if they have not been vaccinated, that's going to be at your discretion. I'm staying away.
okay. Okay. I like that. I like the
Hmm.
sound of that.
Hmm.
So there's another question that was put out, or should I say myth, that we need to talk about tonight.
Okay.
Me taking the COVID-19 vaccine is them putting COVID-19 in my body.
So COVID-19 is not a live virus. I know we talked about the flu. Remember, they used to give live flu virus. They don't give that anymore. All right, this is a vaccination. It's not a live virus. So let's get that myth out of the way. It's not a live virus.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this is not. I promise you all. I've heard it, and so this is one of the reasons why I said tonight. Let's just come forward and let's talk about it because
Hmm.
we have so many myths that are running through our community. People are talking about things, so I think this is great. Us having this discussion on tonight, so we can put that to rest. That it
Right.
is not the live virus of the COVID-19 that they're putting into our
Correct.
body. So
Correct.
we
Okay.
can move on. Uh,
Correct.
Now, I know that in the United States now that they have I guess technically for an emergency purposes approved Pfizer and Moderna,
Hmm.
correct? As of now, Johnson and Johnson, what's the update?
Johnson & Johnson is back on the market to receive shots. So they Johnson & Johnson vaccine, the risks or the benefits outweigh the risks. A lot of people were getting blood clots, but we have to be careful when we talk about that because some people are taking, they already have a pre-existing condition that will cause them to get blood clots. Some people are taking birth control, and you just have to be mindful. You have to do your research what birth control you're taking. You may have to change the form of birth control. If you're going to be on birth control and have the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, that's something all of them, you need to be mindful when you're taking an oral contraceptive because it causes blood clots.
Mm, okay.
Hmm.
So that was a good nugget right there. And so
Hmm.
we still go ahead.
Yeah, you have to. The birth control is one of those ones that you just have to be very careful with. That's what we need to talk about as far as women. And if you've already had a history of blood clots, then you need to speak to your healthcare provider and find out which one is best. You may need to be on something as simple as a baby aspirin aspirin a day, or you may to use just regular contraceptive instead of oral contraceptive.
Okay. Great, great, great. And as always, we still have, she mentioned Johnson. We still have the Pfizer and the Moderna
Hmm.
out there as well. From my understanding now, there's so many places that you can go and get the vaccine. You can go to Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, some of your, stores where you fill your prescriptions at. You can go now and get that vaccine. I know here in Montgomery, on the Eastern Boulevard, we have a place now that's set up for you to go every day, just about Monday through Friday, I believe. I don't know about Saturday and Sunday, where you can go and you can get the vaccine if you need it. So you would encourage us, per se, Yolanda,
Hmm.
to go ahead and get vaccinated.
I would encourage you to go ahead and get vaccinated. The reason is because we don't want to see what happened last year, and we don't want to see our country shut down for another year and a half for something that we can possibly prevent. Yes, everyone will not do it, but we're not worried about everyone. We want to worry about us. And we are disproportionate in our community. And so we have to take care of our bodies more because we are disproportionate in our community. We're disproportionate in different areas. You think about that. If we need something, it's a little bit harder for us to get what we need. Okay, it's a little bit harder. We got to
Right.
go on and get on a bus across town, and a lot of people don't have the transportation. They don't have the finances. They don't have those things to get to the areas that they need to get to. Some of the hospitals in rural areas, they're not up to par to take care of people who may contract COVID-19, and now they got to be life flighted. So this is personal to me. My cousin, she's 42 years old. She just passed away. She was 42 years old, but she passed away in February from COVID-19, something that could have been prevented. She was unaware of what she could take. She wanted to be private about it, and she did not tell me. When they told me she was already in ICU, there was nothing I could do by that chance to recommend to them because she had already passed the 72 hours. And so we have to be vocal. We have to talk about it. We have to ask the questions. And when we go into the doctor's office, if he looks like he's not paying attention to you, or you don't feel like he's listening to your symptoms, then guess what? You need to get in a car and go somewhere where they will listen to your symptoms, because we don't want to take the risk of us having another 2019, another year of people dying at alarming rates because we didn't get vaccinated or we didn't get treated. Like I said, yes, you can still get it again once you're vaccinated, but the symptoms shouldn't be as worse. If you get into the hospital in the first 72 hours, you have a chance of surviving and not having any issues. So we have to talk about it. We have to get taken care of.
I want to take what you just said, and I think in our community, especially in the African American community, we've always been taught or heard the saying that what happens in this house stays in this house.
Correct.
So we don't really open up
Mm-hmm.
about what's going on, who's
Mm-hmm.
sick, what's happening. And
Mm-hmm.
you're saying that in this case, in this situation, this is not the time to remain private.
This
You
is
need to,
not the time.
right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You need to get with someone that knows about this, that can recommend. Like, I did not know what you just said within those 72 hours.
If you get to the doctor within those 72 hours, if your symptoms, when you get that first symptom, 24 hours, I don't feel good, get to the doctor. You're not a doctor at home. We're not going to try and hand treat this at home because when you start coughing, it's something called pneumonia. That when that mucus drains, it drains into the throat and into the chest. There are different variants. It can go in through the nose or it can go in through the mouth,
Mm.
causing the pneumonia. Okay. COVID gets here in the lungs. You're in trouble if you already have asthma, if you already have COPD, if you already have congestive heart failure, if you already have kidney issues. Your body is not going to rejuvenate. When you get older, your body won't rejuvenate. We've seen some 35-year-olds who have gotten the COVID-19 a second time. They've had strokes. People have died from this. People say, oh my God, they died. They were so young. Why? because they didn't go to the doctor in the right amount of time.
Wow. So
Hmm.
that's one thing that I think we need to find a way to eliminate out of our community
Hmm.
and start opening up and talking about what's happening.
Hmm.
Because when you open up and you talk
Hmm.
about it, as you see here tonight, we can get those bits of nuggets and information that we can pull back into our community to help us understand what's happening. You know, there's a scripture that says, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge."
That's right.
you
That's
you
right.
you have to want to know. Let's get the know. Let's find out the information that we need to make the sound decisions that we need to make.
Right.
And so panels like this, discussion, on topics that are occurring, this is where we need to be. That's the purpose behind let's talk about it. Let's bring it to the forefront and let's talk about what's happening. We now see that they have opened this up where they're allowing children to get vaccines. I had someone ask, do you think it's safe for me to start allowing my child to get a vaccine?
So now I am very on the edge about that for myself, with children. Why? Because little people won't tell you what's going on with them. So as long as your child does not have a pre-existing condition, you know that they're safe. And then once they get the vaccine, if they are younger, they say 12 and up. If those children, you want to bring in that communication panel. You want to bring in that communication. Tell mommy if this is going on. Tell mommy if you feel a headache. Tell mommy if you feel nauseated. Tell mommy if you have any shortness of breath. Tell mommy if you have any chest pain. You need to let mommy know. And mommy needs to be asking those questions within the first 21 days of that vaccination. Mommy needs to ask those questions every day. How are you feeling today? If you notice that your child is more fatigued, if you notice that your child is more irritable, then you need to maybe take them to their pediatrician. Do a telemed at first if they're not running a fever or anything, because there's some things that we can see visually over a telemed that your doctor can talk to you and ask those symptoms and reassure you that everything is going okay. But as long as you have a good pediatrician and you have a good communication with your children, they're going to be in school. They really need to take it as long as they don't have any pre-existing conditions.
And I'm glad you just brought that up. If they're going to be in school, I was just about to say, we know now that coming back this fall,
Hmm.
even for colleges, we're
Hmm.
pushing for students to come back on campus this fall. And that's even with K through 12. A lot of the students will be returning back to the classroom this upcoming fall.
Hmm.
And so that means that they will be around each other much, much more. And so you were just saying it may be best to go ahead and let your child.
Your child get vaccinated, yes. But always pay attention to your children. All right? Just pay attention to them. Make sure you are communicating with them. Make sure that they know that when they do go back to school, they're not going to be sharing things like they used to. We want to talk about this summer. You need to get them in a mindset. 30 days becomes a habit. So they needed to get in a mindset for 30 days. And parents, you're going to have to be a stickler about that. Talking to them about washing their hands, about sharing their items. Oh, he needed to use my pencil. You cannot use my pencil in this day and age. You can't share. We're not sharing. We're not bringing up. We're not sharing. All right. So that is what we have to teach them. We are not sharing. You got to teach your baby how to wipe down things. Those are important. You have got to do it. I taught my children that at a young age. My children are still, like I said, they're 27, 23, and 20. They know we're wiping everything down. I did that before COVID-19. Thank God I have not gotten it yet. And I work in healthcare. And trust me, it's been busy. So take care of your children. Teach them the work ethics now of washing their hands, taking care of themselves, communicating with you, and have that open line of communication so that you know what they need and you are able to give them what they need.
Okay. Well, you all, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. So get your questions together. If you have any questions for Yolanda, we'll be more than happy to answer those questions to the best of our ability. So let's take a quick break and we will be right back, you all.
Are you in need of customized t shirts, keychains, graduation announcements, flyers, plaques, or perhaps wedding invitations? If you are, then you should look no farther than Atage. We are ready to assist you with all of your publication needs. Grief can be a difficult time for families, so why not place those publication needs into a staff that is trained and ready to assist you? With years of experience, we have the design that will represent your loved one as you wish. Contact us today at 334 306 2357. Again, that number is 334 306 2357. When you're looking for someone that cares, contact Dimitri Mims, owner of Atage. We're ready to assist you today. We've been there. We felt the struggle. We felt the pain. And sometimes we need just someone that can speak an encouraging word to us. Well, we come to bring you good news today. There is hope. We ask that you join Bishop Macklemore every Wednesday at noon as she brings you an encouraging word, a word that God has given us that will help you in your situation. We come to let you know today that you can live and there is hope in Christ. Remember, that's every Wednesday at noon with Bishop Jacqueline McLemore right here on Facebook Live.
Well, you all, we are back, and I have a couple of questions that have come in, and so we're going to ask those questions. Yolanda, the first question that I have that came in: if a person has already contracted COVID-19, do they still need to be vaccinated?
Yes, you do need to still be vaccinated. Okay, so with that being said, if you got had COVID-19, if you were treated at home with just regular oral, then sometimes they treat you with an oral antibiotic. If you were in the hospital and you had to receive what they call the immunotherapy for it, then you need to wait 90 days after you receive those the IV. You have to wait 90 days after you do that. If you got the COVID-19, then they tell you you can get it in 12 days. I still recommend 90 days. With that being said, you're going to mask up. You have something what they call a period where you're safe from being, you can get it again though. After the 90 days are up, guess what? You can get COVID-19 again. All right. So, yes, I want you to get vaccinated after your 90 days. Stay safe in the meantime. Still wear your mask because you are not exempt from getting it again. And even when you get vaccinated, you're going to be over precautious because if you get it a second time, number two, it is a doozy. All right. So we need to be careful. Vaccination. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Um, I am pregnant. Should I get the vaccine?
This is my personal opinion.
Okay.
I am not recommending that.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know what it's going to do to your unborn baby. They said it is safe. Off the record, I am not okay with it. Okay.
Okay.
That
Now
is my
you all heard that.
opinion.
She said that was her
That is my
personal.
that is my
Right.
personal opinion. It is recommended that you get the vaccine. Now, with this unborn baby, I am not okay with it.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
And
Can
the
I
reason, and
go ahead?
let me give you my personal. But we have to think about that. With the baby not being born, we think about what trimester are you in. Developmental areas are still happening right now while you're pregnant. So let's wait and just be safe. Okay. You just have to be safe. So,
Right. And as she told you, she said, that's her personal opinion, but I think, what she's saying is do your research and
mm-hmm.
make your sound judgment whether you think that would be best for you and your unborn child as well. The
Right.
next question that came in was, can I choose which vaccine I get? Can
You
I
can.
choose?
You can choose which vaccine you can get. You just decide, you do your research and you decide which one you want. Um, I received Moderna. A couple of my friends received Pfizer. I have one friend, he received Johnson and Johnson. He's doing fine. Everybody's doing fine on the shots that they had. I haven't met anybody that has had an issue with it. I actually don't even know anybody that was able to contract the COVID-19 after they gotten the vaccine yet. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
But you
Awesome.
just look up. You can look up your in your area. You look up and find out in your area what shot they're giving, and you decide what you want.
Okay. Thank you. There was one more question that came in. Um, is there still a need for a booster shot with COVID-19? Is there still the need for a booster shot?
There will more than likely, I'm about 75% sure that we will have a booster shot come November, December, January for everyone to get it, a booster shot.
A booster
And
shot.
guess what? We get a booster shot for tetanus. We get a booster shot. We get a flu shot every year. Look, we're going to just have to stay safe.
Okay.
Okay. If you don't have any comorbidities that are telling you are immunocompromised, we need to get it.
We need to get it.
We need
We
to
need to
get
get
it.
it. Awesome. I was trying to see. I think that was the last question that came through. Um, if you're watching and you have a question, please go ahead and put it into the chat box now. We want to answer any question that we have. There's no wrong question to ask. If you
Mm-hmm.
have a question, please ask your question. That is the purpose of this platform, for us to talk about it and get it out in the open. Sometimes we have questions and we'll hold on to those questions because we feel like, well, maybe I don't even need to ask your question. I would rather for you to ask it tonight. Let's talk about it and discuss it before we leave here and you still have that question in the back of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I promise you, I've listened to you tonight, and I've been on the fence. I'm going to tell you the truth. I have been on the fence whether I should or should not take it. But you've given me some more insight to it tonight
Mm-hmm.
as far as taking the vaccine. Of course, we hear so many myths. We hear so many rumors in our community, especially in our community.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the vaccine, even on TikTok, let's talk about it. We've seen videos nowadays where people are taking quarters and stuff and putting it on their arm where they receive the vaccine, and they're saying it's something metal in my arm. There's something there that the government. I mean, this is what has been exposed
Where my
to.
quarter at? I got a quarter on the table. We'll try.
Let's try it.
Let me see. I don't even know. I got a penny. Will it work?
Hey, I guess it. I try to pin it.
It's not staying, y'all. It's not.
That that has been the TikTok challenge. If you were vaccinated, put a
Mm-mm.
something metal there because it's sticking to your skin.
It's not
Bec-
sticking, y'all. It just rolled down to the floor.
Don't believe, so y'all do not believe the hype. Don't believe
Mm-mm.
it. Like I say, let's be informed. Let's get the information that we need so that our communities be safe. I promise you, when this first came out, I was one of those that was like, oh no, 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 no. But I've been doing research and trying to get a better understanding of what's happening there. And I remember one guy was talking to me and he said, well, I don't want to be a lab rat. And I mean,
Well, now look. Now, let's talk about that. Lab rats. Let's
mhm,
talk about it. We are guinea pigs for a lot of things. We don't know what they put in our food in fast food restaurants. We eat it. Ooh, it tastes so good. We don't know. We don't
You're
know what the
right.
ingredients are. We don't know what they put in our bottled water. It could be tap waters in a bottle. We don't know. We don't know. Like we really don't know. So
That's true.
like we gotta think about it. You gotta think about it. I want to live. I want to see my family. I want to see my great great grandchildren. I want to be around. So I'm working on those measures to where let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of our bodies. Let's take care of our bodies spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. And let's do what we can for our community, for those around us, so that we can be here a long time. We're not lab rats, okay? We had a lot of things in our life that we probably have tested and tried that we shouldn't have. Let's be truthful about it. We've tried some things that we shouldn't have even tried,
But
and
we did.
we did it behind the doors. If we close the doors,
But God covered us,
didn't he?
kept us safe.
Didn't he? So I
Hey,
pled the blood of Jesus over my body. Let me tell y'all, I was nervous about getting the shot. And this is a true story. I said, God, if I'm supposed to get this shot today, give me a good parking space. Guess what he did? I got a parking space at the front. Do you hear me? Can y'all
hey,
hear what I say? He gave
at
my
the,
parking space at the front,
wow, that
at the
means
very front of the parking lot. And where
wow
people were standing in lines for hours, I stood in line for 20 minutes
to get the shot.
to get the shot. 20 minutes.
And so you've seen no adverse side effects.
Mm-mm. Other than I got a little bit more energy. I be trying to do too much.
Hey, well, that's a good thing.
I can take that. Other than that,
That is
I've
a
been
good
fine. I
thing.
can remember. I'm quick on my feet. I can handle stuff. I haven't lost anything.
Okay.
So
Awesome. Well, I don't see any questions that came in. I thank you. You have helped me tonight. If no one else, you have definitely helped me tonight to even think and consider this just a little bit more as far as getting the vaccine. Because I promise you, I was one of those that was sitting on the fence looking at both sides, hearing both arguments, trying to decide which route to go. And so I think the information presented here, matter of fact, I know that the information presented here tonight has been most beneficial for me in understanding the process. So some of the things that we talked about tonight, no, you are not receiving the live COVID-19 virus when they give you the vaccine. That is
no.
not true. That is one of the main rumors that I've heard. Yes, you still can contract COVID-19 even after being vaccinated, but there is a, how do we put that?
It's going to be a decrease of the symptoms. The symptoms are not going to be as bad.
Okay, so the symptoms won't be as bad. So even if you, after you've received the vaccine, still take precautions, be safe, wear your mask. Even if you're around others that you don't know, especially wear your mask. Always be, wash your hands. That's it. Talk about it.
Wash your hands. Washing our hands for 20 seconds. So we need to sing the happy birthday song or I love you or Barney song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And then you're rinsing with hot water down. You're not rinsing up. All
You
right.
mean
So
it
you
can't
wash
be
your hands.
cold water?
It cannot be cold water. It doesn't need to be cold water. And if it is cold water, give me an extra 20 seconds. Okay?
That's a good question. Now, let me ask you this. I just thought about this. When you have a choice, washing your hands or sanitizing,
Wash your hands.
wash your hands. That's good. And the reason why I asked that, because I've seen individuals just grab the sanitizer, a couple of seconds with the sanitizer and just go straight to eat. So
Wash your hands.
wash your
You've opened
wash
the door. You've opened the door. So you need to wash your hands.
wash your hands.
Hmm.
Now, and that's good. You brought this out, and we're gonna get ready to close because when this first hit, I was not eating fast food. I wouldn't eat out from anywhere because I was just nervous about the wrapper and the food. I was nervous about the container. Who touched the container before I touched the container? Then I bring the container in the house and I still got to wipe it down with the Lysol wipes before I open it up. Then I wouldn't eat out of the container. I would put it on another plate and put it back in the oven to nuke it some more just in case. God has brought me from a mighty long way.
Just rinse the container off. God bless it. God cover it.
And let's go. So, I
And let's
mean,
go.
I hope you all, if you just tuning in and you had any questions, you still got about a minute, about 3 minutes to ask your questions. I seen some people just tuned in. So if you have some questions, definitely ask your questions. If you had to give out some last couple of tips, Yolanda, for those that still may be on the fence and just like, hey, I don't know if you can convince me about this vaccine, what would you say?
Well, I would want to tell you tonight, my grandmother is 85 years old. She will be 86 in November. We got my grandmother a vaccine. This is the honest truth. My uncle contracted COVID-19. He lives with my grandmother. My grandmother was negative, and my grandmother is still here. Had we not gotten my grandmother the vaccine, I don't know that we would celebrate her 86th birthday in a few months. But my grandmother survived being in a household with someone who had COVID-19, and she was in there with him the entire time with his symptoms. He had a stroke. Why did he have the stroke? Because he didn't go to the doctor when he first got those symptoms. My uncle is 63 years old and he is in a rehab facility as of right now. This just happened in May. All right. We had to plead the blood of Jesus. Yes, God did answer. But I want you to know, had my grandmother not gotten her vaccine, had my aunt not gotten her vaccine because she had to go over and see about him, they would all be they probably would have been sick. And we would have more than just that one in rehab right now trying to learn how to walk again. All right?
Wow.
So
Uh,
it's that serious.
we
What
got it.
about a little Clorox with the washing? Washing clothes? Yes. So there is a, oh, y'all give me 1 second and I'll get it. Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead. Hey, mama. So, what about a little Clorox with the washing?
I'm coming.
Oh, I hear you.
Can you see
Yeah.
this? It's a laundry sanitizer by
Yes.
by Clorox. I use that because I use that because I'm a nurse and so I don't want anybody else to get anything. So I wash with that. And it's kept me safe.
Well, let me
My
say,
children.
it smells good.
It
Um,
does.
someone gave me some as a gift, and so I
Hmm.
use it. It's about time for me to buy some more, but I
Hmm.
use it, and it smells really good. And so you use that on all of your clothes, Yolanda?
I use it on all of my clothes and I clean my carpet with it. So because I have a bad problem with keeping clean. So I like to I have to do everything because I see it every day. So it's
Okay.
in my head. I need to clean and keep wiping and keep wiping. So I clean my carpet with it. I clean my clothes with it. So
Lysol
yes, ma'am.
microban.
I have microban. I keep it. Microban lasts for about 8 hours. For COVID-19, you need to respray it again. For regular germs, it's 24 hours. So I do spray it. I honestly get to work early. I wipe the door handles and I microban at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and again at 1 p.m. Why? There's a lot of heavy traffic coming in those doors.
Now that's good because if you look at the bottle, it says 24 hours, but you said with COVID-19 is only 8 hours for
Yeah,
that
it's
virus,
yeah,
basically.
they said 6 to 8 hours. I actually listened to someone talk about that. It was a microban infomercial, and it'll tell you that it does protect against COVID-19, but not as long.
As long. So you need just a little bit more spraying that microban. I got microban, I got Lysol. I even went to the Dollar Tree and got some for the office. Now I don't know how we're gonna leave that
Don't
alone.
don't bring that to the office. You need to get the real deal for the office, okay?
Hey, I have some. I got some Lysol and the microban as well. So it's just me even spraying. Now that's a question. Spraying your packages down from the UPS truck.
Yes.
Spray them down.
Bring him down. You know what he
Okay.
got?
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, spraying
So
it down.
okay. So
Everything. Sit it on the porch, spray it. If it's hot out there, the heat will kill it.
the heat to kill it.
The
Okay.
heat will
Just
kill it. Spray it, Lord cover it.
what she say? She said, "Mom said thanks. I did not know that. I didn't know that about the 8 hours on the 6 to 8 hours with the
Yes,
COVID
ma'am.
19. So spread again. What are some of the symptoms as we get ready to leave out of here? What are some of the symptoms that people should look for with COVID
So
19?
with COVID-19, if you feel like it will be fever, headache, blurred vision, cough. The cough is the number one. You have a cough that lasts for more than 4 hours and you cannot keep it controlled, there's a good chance that you have contracted it. So you need to be careful. Now, if you have sinuses and nasal drainage, if you have taken your Zyrtec or taken your Allegra and you are still coughing, there's a good chance that you may have it. So you just want to go get tested. If you get tested in the first 72 hours, you're going to be okay. All right?
Get tested within the
Get
first
tested.
72 hours. Now,
Get
what
tested.
type of tests are available?
So there is a mouth swab test.
Hmm.
I'm not okay with that when I feel like you need to get in there and get it. The nasal swab is my favorite. I know it
Okay.
hurts and it's uncomfortable, but I just worry that the mouth swab isn't enough. The buccal swab isn't enough.
Okay.
Okay,
And so the tests normally take,
24, 48 hours to come back. If you're
okay.
positive, somebody's calling you.
Okay. Now, what about this rapid test that they have now that can tell you within what 20 minutes?
20 minutes. That's good. We use it at work.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
how we're testing. Mhm.
Now, this is just me, and I'm just to throw this out here. So I had to go to the doctor recently, and so I'm used to them putting a little thing to your head and getting your temperature that way. Well, the lady said, "Sir, I'm gonna need you to open your mouth and do the lip." I was like, "Ma'am, that means I got to take my mask down." And then I don't know what you've had this little thing at, who else mouth and stuff you and she laughed at me. But it was just an area of concern with me. And so they have changed a little at the doctor that I was going to, because when I first went, like I think last year, they were stopping everybody at the door and they were doing the little mouth thing with everybody, just you know, and I was like, I do not feel comfortable with you putting that in my up under the arm. I did not know. So they can get it up under the arm just as well.
They can get an axillary.
Thank you. I need to know that. So the next time I go and she
I'll
try to
take your
put
own
that,
thermometer. I'm that
oh,
nurse.
okay. Hey, thank
I
you for
am. I'm
letting me
that
know.
nurse. I have my own thermometer. We have handhelds. We're not doing anything orally right now.
Thank you.
I mean your face. I'm too close to you. There's too much going on. You are not putting anything in my mouth that somebody else has put in their mouth, and it is okay for you to. You could do it axillary, or you could find me a thermometer, or I have my own,
And let them get it that way.
and let them get it that way.
You just you earned your shirt on tonight just
I
from
have.
that. Yeah, you earned your singles in progress shirt. You've earned it. You gonna get it tonight just for
Thank
that
you.
comment right there to let me know that I don't have to let them do that.
You don't.
Because at first she looked like she was a little offended by me saying what I said, because I was uncomfortable with her putting that in my mouth, and I don't know where else it's been, especially with what's going on right now.
If you are uncomfortable, it is God telling you to be uncomfortable. And so you have to be weary and well doing. We're talking about using universal precautions. Are you wiping that thermometer with some Clorox wipes before you put it in the next person's mouth? If you're not, we're not doing it. Because who's to say that somebody else didn't use that thermometer and they're not wiping it down? I want to be careful. and you have an office manager that you want to discuss that with, just
Right.
take care of me.
And we'll be
They're
good.
$40. You can afford it. Hmm.
Well, you have it tonight, you all. We have talked about it tonight, the COVID vaccine. If you
Hmm.
did not catch all of it, I encourage you to go back. Just as soon as it posts, it should post within 2 to 3 minutes to Facebook, to YouTube as well. So go out and rewatch it. Now, if you have any questions or you want us to come back with a part two, I already got another subject that I might be bringing her back for that I just thought about that I want to talk about. So, just email me. You can email me at singlesinprogress@gmail.com. Again, that's singlesinprogress@gmail.com. So if you think of anything, send me an email. We'll bring it to the show and we can talk about it. Thank you so much, Yolanda, for being with us on tonight and sharing your expertise in this field and just providing us with the knowledge that we needed on tonight. Again, I tell you all, this was not to persuade you anyway on tonight, whether to go get it or not to get it. We just wanted to bring it to the table. Let's talk about it. Let's give you the information so that you can make a sound decision whether you want to go get this vaccine or not. Weigh the options, you all. And she gave us the nuggets on tonight to help us understand what is out there, even the possibility in forecasting that if we don't see a mass majority of vaccination, that we could see another spike come this fall. We hope not, but who's to say? So take the precautions, take the information that you've been given tonight. Don't just take our word. Go out
Hmm.
and do research.
Right.
Do your research. And from your research, make your sound decision if the COVID vaccine is right for you. Any last comments, Yolanda?
No, I'm thankful for you inviting me on tonight. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here for you guys tonight. You can find me on Facebook. I'm Yolanda Renee. I also we posted the link for the CDC in the comments for you to click on there. I'm here. You can send me, you can message me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
And as you all see that she's on Singles in Progress. So does
Hmm.
that mean that you're single?
I am currently single and I'm in progress. So I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna enjoy life.
Okay.
That's where I am. That's where I
So
am.
she's coming on board with the Singles in Progress team. So she's earned her t-shirt on tonight. You see, we have t-shirts now. I have this kind and I have another kind that we have t-shirts that we'll be sending out. So you all jump on board with us. Let's take it to the next level. This has been Singles in Progress. Thank you all for joining us on tonight. To
Thank
all
you.
of our viewers, every comment. Thank you so much for being here. To Kingdom Enforcers, to our bishop, our co-pastors, thank you for trusting us to have these conversations and put this out here in the public. You all have a wonderful night. We will be back next month with another segment